Hey, what's up, rock stars? This rocks with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars. So we are ending the budget season today. Actually, tomorrow is the last day. I'm hoping to get my part of it turned in today so that my director can send it on down to finance. But yeah, hasn't been as bad as this new system that they have is actually much easier, way less stressful. The only stress that I had this time was really just trying to learn the computer system, but it wasn't that bad. So thank God for small favors. So I'm actually heading down to the budget offices right now to try to finish up my stuff. So we're going to get through this pretty quickly, and the video actually doesn't we don't have that much stuff to talk about, you guys. But anyway, first story up, Joshua Brown and the very strange set of circumstances that surround his death in Dallas, Texas. Now, if you don't know who Joshua Brown is, he was one of the key witnesses in the Amber Geiger case. He was testifying for the prosecution, and he lived across the hall from Botham Jean. And so he was saying, that he had heard, it sounded like some surprised individuals, over there talking before the shooting. And he was the only witness, I think, that testified about that. So and you guys remember him, he was the young black guy who wore the like the graphic tee. 10 days later, he's shot dead in front of his apartment building, and the Dallas police are explaining it away as a drug deal gone bad. And I suppose that could be very well true. However, the story just sounds so strange and convenient, and of course couple that with already our already distrust of police departments all over the world, or all over America anyway. The story is strange. So they're saying that 3 guys from Louisiana drove all the way to Dallas, Texas, to purchase drugs from Joshua Brown, that he was a weed drug dealer, okay, and that they came there to purchase weed and THC oil or something like that. And they're saying that once they got there, there was a confrontation. Okay, so the 3 guys that were involved, they're saying Michael Mitchell, 32 years old, Jaquarius Mitchell, 20 years old, and they're searching for Thaddeus Green, who's also 22 years old. They say that Jaquarius said that Thaddeus had contacted Joshua about the drugs. When they got there, there was some sort of confrontation. They got to arguing, and that Joshua had pulled out a gun and shot at Jaquarius. Okay, evidently hit Jaquarius, I believe it was. Was it Jaquarius? Yes, hit Jaquarius. And then they're saying that Thaddeus, who was also there, pulled out his gun and shot and killed Joshua Brown. They said that Thaddeus and the other Mitchell boy, what did I say his name was? Michael. They said that they fled, but they were able to catch one of them. Okay, Michael, and Thaddeus is still on the run. But Jaquarius was taken to the hospital, and this is the story that he has given the police. But if you were following Joshua Brown and his testimony, for the prosecution, he had voiced a while ago that he was uncomfortable testifying because he felt like he was a target from the police department, or people that just strenuously believed that she was innocent. And this is not the first attempt on his life. He was also shot back in 2018 at a strip club. He was there with a friend, Nicholas Diggs, and evidently Nicholas Diggs was killed. All right, he was shot but not killed. He was also supposed to testify in this Diggs case eventually. Just a whole lot of shooting surrounding him, a whole lot of coincidence. The timing is so strange. I'm not saying that he couldn't be a drug dealer, but to have so much attention on him already because of the case, it just seems highly unlikely that he would be conducting a drug deal right in front of his apartment. I mean, it just sounds strange to me. On top of that, how many damn drug dealers did these guys pass up to drive all the way from Louisiana to Dallas? I mean, you are buying weed and THC oil. I mean, I'm sure somebody in Louisiana sells that, right? So why are they coming all the way across state lines to get to him just to purchase weed? They say that they robbed him, or that there was also $4,000 in cash that was found amongst the other stuff that Joshua Brown had they were going to take or something. I don't know. The story is just very, very odd. And the family, of course, wants to know if this is tied into, the Amber Geiger case. Dallas Police Department saying, yeah, nope, this is just what it is, and this is what they are ruling it. But I won't be surprised if the pressure is put on them to investigate a little further into this, to see if there was some sort of hit on this man's life for testifying against Amber Geiger. Craziness. Definitely possible. And I just hope that they don't just write this off, with the Dallas Police Department. Because I was reading articles online trying to kind of catch up on what was going on with this story, and like the main newspaper out in Dallas, Texas, was like, thank goodness that it wasn't tied into the Amber Geiger case, and that, this is just a drug deal gone bad. And so, when you read about it, you can tell that there is definitely people at work trying to vilify Joshua Brown, and all of a sudden he's this drug dealer and all of this. So the story sounds strange to me. It sounds very convenient. Not sure if I believe it. And we're just gonna see if anything else comes of it. I know that was a hot button case out there in Dallas. I actually have a good girlfriend, Crystal, that lives out there, and I'm actually gonna ask her, Crystal, if you're watching this, what are they saying about this? Because I know that just common sense would make you feel like maybe this is something that they need to check into further. But anyway, you guys, that's the story on Joshua Brown. If you have more on it, because you probably do, but if you have more information, you feel free to leave it in the comments section below. I just wanted to give the basics of what was going on here. And basically, that is all you needed to know. Joshua Brown was shot down, killed in front of his apartment building, allegedly because he was selling drugs. I don't know if we believe that, though, you guys. All right, you guys, next story up. DeAndre Somerville. He reminds me of my 20-year-old son. He likes to sleep. Okay. Hell, he probably stayed up all night. Probably went to bed about 4 o'clock in the morning playing PlayStation, NBA 2K, or whatever the hell they call the game. And the next morning, he was due to serve his first day of jury duty on a civil automobile accident negligence case in West Palm Beach, Florida. But he overslept. And once he woke up and realized that he overslept for jury duty, he didn't think anything of it. He just went on to work. Obviously not well versed in the way these jury duty processes go. He went on to work, reported for his day, and did not go to jury duty. The story is so not clear when you read it. From what I thought and what I had heard before was, when he finally did report to jury duty, the judge went off on him because he didn't show up. He delayed the case. They had to reschedule, it cost the state money or the city money, and it was all this, that, and the other. But then when you read the story on other articles, it said that actually he never went to jury duty. And 3 weeks later, the judge had to send the police to his home to get him. Okay. So I guess he had some sort of bench warrant or something. So, and I could be wrong, but the story I'm telling you reads very strangely. So when he gets to court, the judge goes off on him. Again, like I said, fusses about, all the inconveniences that he put the court through. And even though the boy did apologize and just did not realize that it was that serious, and he didn't know that he was supposed to call the bailiff and let him know. You know, he admitted that he was wrong in all of what he did. The judge went on to sentence him with 10 days of jail time. Said it's just a little bit of jail time, but this will give him enough time to realize the error of his ways. Gave him something like 150 hours of community service. And he told him that if he didn't do this community service, you know, that he was going to be facing 6 months in jail. He's on probation. I mean, just all of these things that this man put on this 21-year-old boy who doesn't even have a jail record, who just did not know. And, you know, we can't always argue that ignorance, just because we don't know something that, you know, we should be given a pass. But putting this man in jail 10 days is ridiculous. Even 1 day for a case such as automobile accident negligence. I'm not saying that that's not a serious case, but you know, it's just, it absolutely makes no sense. The fact that he put this boy, this black boy or this black young man into jail, I mean, it just makes you feel like this judge saw him, saw the color of his skin, automatically assumed that he was like one of these kids that just didn't care, you know, fuck the system kind of kids. And that's not what the case is, but he's paying for it in jail time. Okay. I don't even know, does this get put on his record? Like, does he now have a record of jail time just because he didn't go to jail? It's the most asinine and ridiculous thing that I have ever heard. Okay, I would be so fucking mad if something like that happened to my son, because what do? You know, that boy had to serve those 10 days. He said it was the worst 10 days of his life. You know, he had to keep reminding himself that he was not a criminal, you know, and those kind of things can fuck up a psyche of a person trying to deal with the day-to-day. Okay, and you are caged and you didn't even really do anything. I think that I remembered hearing that they were going to expunge the record or something like that, or they were going to get rid of it. It was not going to show up on his record. But you know, it's just unfortunate that this boy had to go through all of this. I keep calling him a boy. This young man had to go through this because the judge had a hair up his ass. You know, it kind of makes you feel like he had some sort of, you know, it's an abuse of power. You doing shit just because you can, you know. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. That actually was a really sad case, because I'm telling you, if I could picture my son, that same thing, that very same thing happening to my son. I know my son is not a bad kid. And it would break my heart that he would have to sit in jail for 10 days. I feel like they need to, what's up with that judge? Do we know anything on that judge? Why the fuck he has such a hard on for that kid? But DeAndre Somerville is out now. Now he's trying to rebuild his life and forget about the things that he went through. So, 10 days. Rest in peace to legendary Diahann Carroll. She died following losing a battle with breast cancer, and her daughter Suzanne K had confirmed the news when it hit, you know, the outlets, I believe last week, like right after I did Top of the Blog. So it must have been either Wednesday or Thursday of last week. Many of you guys are too young to really know who Diahann Carroll is. I mean, you know who she is, but Diahann Carroll was so important for the Black community in Hollywood. The first African-American woman to have her own network show, Julia. That was in 1968. That was even before my time, because I was just born in 1970. But yeah, I can kind of remember seeing like reruns of Julia. Then she also won a Golden Globe for that role. But before that, you know, she really kind of dug her heels into Broadway. I believe she was the first African-American woman to win a Tony. She got an Oscar nomination for her 1974 movie, Claudine, which I have seen and love that movie. You know, she played opposite James Earl Jones. And then she got the iconic role of Dominique Devereaux on Dynasty, kind of the antagonist to Alexis Carrington, you know, played by Joan Collins, was the first African-American, like a major character on that nighttime soap opera. Used to love Dynasty. Used to think she was so beautiful. I can remember when I was 13 years old, I even got my hair cut in a bob. My mom was so upset, but I was trying to get that Diahann Carroll, Dominique Devereaux kind of look. I think I even posted a picture of it. I think I did. Anyway, never quite did it. That's what I was going for. But anyway, just seeing her, you know what, and it's funny because back then I didn't even look at her as the first black woman. She just fit into the cast like anything else. You know, she was so glamorous. She was so beautiful. She was sexy. She was a bitch. She fit in with the rest of the cast, you know, so it didn't even feel like she was this first black something, you know. That's how well she did her job. And then after that, you know, we saw her in guest spots and things. Then she showed up as Whitley Gilbert's mother on A Different World, and we would see her there occasionally. And then we've seen her in movies and, you know, other guest spots. Always just been a constant in Black Hollywood. Always a beautiful representation. Everybody that you talk to say that she was sweet as pie. Always very nice. Always very gracious. I love to hear those stories about, you know, our Black legends, because you do hear stories sometimes that some of them can be horrible. But you know, not only was she beautiful on the outside, she was beautiful on the inside as well. But yeah, died from breast cancer. She leaves behind her daughter, Suzanne Kay, and her 2 granddaughters. Well, I don't know if they're granddaughters, her 2 grandchildren. Okay, she was 84 years old. She will be well missed, even though we haven't seen much of her lately. I think the last thing that she was in 2016. There was a movie, I can't remember the name of it. I saw it when I was reading up on her. But forever in our hearts, she will be missed. Rest in peace to Diahann Carroll. All right, you guys, so they say that Snoop Dogg performed at the University of Kansas. They have an annual event called Late Night in the Fog, and that's PHOG. And it is a family event, and it's supposed to kick off like the basketball season. And, you know, they have a concert. I guess they just have like a whole big to-do there. Well, they thought that it would be good to book Snoop Dogg, okay, for a family event. Now, I have just recently saw Snoop Dogg out here in Atlanta, and in no ways would I say that his show is family, you know, family material. I don't even know why they would think that Snoop Dogg would be family material, even if you had never seen his shows. If you listen to his music is not necessarily, you know, it ain't family friendly like that. Like if you got the kids there. And definitely on his show, he's got strippers. He's got stripper poles. He's got a big dog walking around smoking weed. Okay, there's a permeating actual smell of weed that kind of just, if you close to the stage, you can actually smell weed, okay? He even has a moment when he passes weed around for other folks to smoke. Now, I don't know if he did it, you know, for the family event here, but you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that when these people booked him that, you know, you asking for Snoop Dogg, damn it, Snoop Dogg is here, okay? This is what you're gonna get. But afterwards, people complained, they said, and thought that he was inappropriate for this event. And when I say people, that probably means alumni, okay? Probably donating alumni who are older and really don't take too kindly to seeing, you know, somebody up there smoking weed and having strippers and poles and shit, okay? So I'm sure they're the ones that complain, because Snoop Dogg was like, he had absolutely no idea that people weren't enjoying himself. He said he had a good time. The audience seemed to have a good time. Nobody was complaining. Nobody booed. Everybody was grooving and rocking, okay? He said he even stayed after his performance, hung out with the basketball team and everything. So he had absolutely no idea. But then afterwards, University of Kansas, you know, the deans or whatever, had to apologize for his appearance. But like I said, yeah, you want Snoop Dogg, that's what you're gonna get. So ain't nothing there, folks. Okay, like I said, it's probably just some some folks with a little bit of, a little bit of this complaining, and they had to pacify them. So everything is going to be fine, you guys. Basketball season is about to start. Next story, Cardi B and her belligerent rant going off on Access Hollywood, accusing them of using her for clickbait, her and her daughter for clickbait, and telling them that, they should suck her whole dick, and she hopes that their mother catches AIDS. Listen, she was very upset about the fact that Access Hollywood had did a video interview with her, sit-down interview with her, and she was talking about, I guess they had asked her a question about, working really hard and trying to balance that with being a mother. And she said that, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm trying to get the point across to you guys, but she said something along the lines of, she's really, really busy. She's got Fashion Nova. She's got, her concerts. She's working in the studios. She's doing this, that, and the other. She has to make sure that she makes time to be with her child because, next thing you know, you got somebody watching your kid and your kid is calling somebody else mommy. Okay. She didn't say that her child does this. She was given an example of why she would not want to always be working and being away from her child because somebody could, that could very well happen to her daughter, but that's not what her daughter was doing. So, she was upset because evidently Access Hollywood had then chopped up the interview and made it kind of seem like she said something that she didn't. On top of that, they used the title of the story. It said, Cardi B admits culture calls someone else mommy because she works so much, it feels whack. Okay. Now, I would be pissed too because I know that's not what the fuck I said. And you guys just really just rearranged all of that just so that somebody will click on this story and thinking that they're going to get, something saying that Cardi B is a bad mom and that her baby is calling somebody else mommy. Okay? Yeah, I would have been pissed too. I don't know if I'd have said all of that, what she said, but I'm not Cardi B. Okay? And you already know how Cardi B is. And she's not going to change that for anybody. So, her getting up there saying that she hopes somebody mama catch AIDS and, suck her whole dick and everything. Yeah, that's just who she is. Her being mad, that's how she chose to express herself, child. Access Hollywood did realize that they were wrong in what they did. Just to let you know kind of how much power she has. They admitted that was wrong. They took the interview down and they actually apologized to her. And that was when she kind of calmed down and came back on and just saying that, everybody is always trying to make her look like a bad person. I mean, I guess it can be frustrating to always feel like you have to defend yourself, defend, what you said, correct people that are misquoting you, using you for, I hate saying clickbait, people using people for clickbait because that has become such a thing to say now, but I guess it does happen in certain cases. And so I'm sure that she's probably frustrated. I will always say that it's probably best that Cardi B, doesn't run her social media and let somebody else do it. But that is the reason why she has a lot of her fans, because she does her own social media. She's been the same from before we knew who she was till she became this popular stripper, and she was on Love and Hip Hop, and now she's this big time rapper. And everyone still loves the fact that she's raw and she's on there and she's speaking out and everything. So that's what it is. Okay, people are saying it's going to ruin her career. It hasn't ruined her career yet. If she does it all the time and she still moves along in her career just fine. But Access Hollywood was fucked up in saying that. All right, you guys, and then in quickies, I'm sorry, my energy level is down. I'm going to let me get it together. So TylerPerryStudios, we talked about this last week. Y'all all asking me to talk about it again this week. I mean, granted, he hadn't had the party last week, but I had told you guys that the party was coming. And I even told you guys exactly how I felt about the studio because I had been on the lot. didn't see all of the things, obviously, that everybody else saw, but I saw the studios and I was just impressed with the studios, okay? And just looking at the lot and knowing that how, just from what we saw, it was beautiful, just what we saw. I can imagine the sound stage, I mean, not the sound stages, but, all of the buildings and things that he's, built around. I can just imagine what that would look like as well. But yeah, I will tell you again, and really if you want to know how I felt about it, I guess you could watch the video from last week. But again, very proud of Tyler Perry. He is awe-inspiring. That studio is nothing short of amazing. And we were able to see all of the who's who in Black Hollywood. They're celebrating with him donating or naming stages, sound stages after people that made differences in Hollywood: Will Smith, Halle Berry, Sidney Poitier, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Spike Lee, and the likes, Harry Belafonte. He named sound stages after them. The beautiful thing about this studio is the fact that you, just from the names of those sound stages, that this is a black, if you didn't know who Tyler Perry is, which I'm sure everybody knows, but maybe some 100 years later, and people are not familiar, they just know Tyler Perry, like how we know MGM or we know Sony or something. They might not know that he was this black man. I'm just saying you guys know what I'm saying. I'm sure they will, but I'm just saying if they didn't, then at least we know that these sound stages are all named after black people that meant something to the acting, the entertainment world, the black community and all of that. So he's just unapologetically black. Okay, he does things. He always keeps black people to the forefront. And he has the touch. Whatever he touches turns to gold. People like him. He's a nice guy, apparently. And, so just good for him. Good for him. That studio is amazing. That's all I can say. It is amazing. This Tiffany and Chingy debate or little fight or whatever they're going through is silly to me, because I don't know any woman that is going to get up and lie and say that they slept with somebody when they didn't. Okay, women don't get accolades like men do. Men brag about the women that they slept with, even if they're lying about it, and they get the right on brother kind of thing. And when women do it, then we get slut shamed. So nobody's really trying to add any motherfuckers to our bed if we didn't really do it. So when she was on Ellen DeGeneres, on Ellen's show, and she was talking about, Ellen asked her if she had ever had sex with any, celebrities. And she said years and years and years ago, she had sex with Chingy. Okay. On top of that, it's not like Chingy is on and popping right now. And that's somebody, that she would throw out there just to kind of, hype her own self up. I mean, Chingy, Chingy's fine, but if you're going to lie, you might as well lie big, right? You might as well pull a big name out of the hat. So Chingy just is so random. It's just like, oh, why would she lie about that? And then he came out and said that she was lying and that he never slept with her, but she slept with his brother. She liked him, but she slept with her brother. I just really honestly feel like Chingy probably forgot, because when she came back out and she said, she was very, very descriptive then, exactly what happened when they slept together, where it was, what he did. Okay. And she mentioned in it that he was sleepy. So maybe he just don't remember. Maybe he was high. Maybe he was drunk, maybe it just didn't even mean that much to him, but I believe her. I believe that it happened. When she had to come on with the description, really, I believed it. Okay. And I could picture all the places that she was talking about. And it was really TMI at that point. But I guess she was just really trying to make a point. And I don't even know if Chingy came back out. But it was just like, why you feel like you had to respond to that anyway? Maybe he was trying to get his own little 15 minutes, tack that on to the end of whatever the fuck he got going on right now. So, But yeah, it's silly. It's nothing. Congratulations are in order, I guess, to Erica Mena and Safari. Okay, they did tie the knot a few days ago. I saw the pictures on Instagram and she looked really nice. They look really nice. They are a good looking couple. Corny, but whatever. She likes it. I love it. Okay. She also formally did announce, oh, look at her hair. It's cute. She cut her hair. Cute, cute, cute. And colored it. Ooh. Makes me want to go back to short, you guys. They formally did announce that she's pregnant, released the pictures. She looks good. She looks happy. He looks happy. Whatever, child. So, and we definitely will see the nuptials on Love and Hip Hop New York, because they said the cameras were there and we saw some of the cast members dancing and whatever at the reception. So we will see it there. Congratulations to the happy couple. People are saying that Michael Darby was caught cheating with a woman this time. I haven't seen the incriminating photos. I've only seen the ones that have been, safe for work, I guess. Him with this black girl kind of almost looks, has that same kind of Ashley look. And evidently he's out in public somewhere in Florida with this woman, drinking at the bar. There's a picture that they actually posted of him in his underwear. It's the backside of him. You can't even really tell it's him, but it's like, he has on underwear and it's like just an old white guy. But evidently there are more pictures that are not safe for work, that show him naked and all that. I don't see those pictures. And I guess Gossip in the City dropped this story some time ago. So you guys know you can, if you follow her, or if you pay for her subscription or her website, or however she has it worked up, then that's when you're able to see the pictures. But we're not doing that. I don't care that much about Michael Darby and his naked old 72-year-old peen, but they say that it's out there. I still feel like this is something planted. It was so much talk about Michael Darby being gay. It's very convenient now that he gets caught having an affair with a woman now. It's like they're trying to heterosexualize the man. Now let's let him be out there, because it's like, you're Michael Darby. You just had all this attention on you because people are accusing you of cheating on your wife, by doing all these things with men, and now all of a sudden there's a woman around. And now they're saying that Ashley, she's still saying that she's only focusing on her family, on her baby. She posted a picture of the baby yesterday as if she was unbothered. So I just feel like this is planted, because it's probably going to be on the show next season, and I think that they're just kind of using that to get us geared up for it, you guys. I'm telling you, these reality shows, they plot and plan ahead of time, and they just kind of guide us into the way that they want us to think, and we fall for it every time. But that's what they're saying. Do you guys believe that it's really happening out there, that Michael's stupid enough to get caught cheating on his wife with all the stuff else that was going on? That shit is on purpose, you guys. Congratulations are in order for JT. Okay, her mama named her Jatavia Johnson. She was released from prison Tuesday. Pretty quietly. I'll admit I haven't really been on Instagram because I've been working on this budget. But, and you guys know JT is from City Girl. She's the half of the group that was in jail basically 2 years for credit card fraud. And remember, they kept on saying she was going to get out, she was going to get out, she was going to get out. She never got out. Well, now all of a sudden she's out, and I didn't even know. Okay, I didn't know until somebody actually put it into my comments. But good for her. They say that as soon as she got out, she released a song. I think it's called First Day Out. And hit the ground running. Posted a picture of her. She got all her jewelries on. Okay. Right in time that she got out, because what's the other girl name? Young Miami. She should be having that baby real soon. And I guess that'll give her enough time to recuperate from having the baby. JT can get her feet back under her and get back used to rapping and being back out there and entertaining. And by the time everybody is ready to come back together, hopefully City Girls will be able to really just, blow it up together. Because they haven't been able to do that, because Young Miami has had to do everything because JT's been in jail. So, but she's out. and she is on land. Song out. Have you guys heard First Day Out? I haven't heard it, but good for her. Sad news, Alex Trebek might be leaving Jeopardy because his pancreatic cancer, they're saying that it's advancing and it's starting to affect him. It's so strange because now when you get pancreatic cancer, because my uncle died from pancreatic cancer, usually by the time you find out that you have it, you are in the advanced stages, like the end of 3, the beginning of 4. So when Alex Trebek had announced that he had it, I was already like, damn, you know, like this is really sad. And then he came out and said just a few months ago that, you know, the prognosis was good, that, you know, he's been getting his treatment and everything was looking pretty good. And I was like, damn, is he really gonna beat this, like stage 4? You know, you hadn't heard things like this happening. I mean, even Patrick Swayze, he died from, I believe don't quote me, I believe he died from pancreatic cancer as well. But anyway, but I was hopeful for him because, you know, like, fuck cancer. We want people to be surviving from this. So now they're saying that he's probably going to be leaving sooner rather than later, Jeopardy, because he just feels like it's starting to affect his work. He says that he can hear himself slurring, even if other people can't hear it. But he feels like people can hear it and that they just maybe be forgiven because they love him so much. But he's like, it'll come to a point where they won't be able to be so forgiving, you know, and that he's not able to pronounce his words or enunciate as well as he would like to. You know, that has always been a part of Alex Trebek, the fact that he can just say these things right off the tip of his tongue. But now he has sores in his mouth from the chemo, and, you know, it has really deteriorated his health. So he's saying that he is returning to the new season of Jeopardy, but like I said, he may be leaving sooner rather than later. So prayers up for Alex Trebek. Like I said, fuck cancer. Dang, I didn't realize that was the end of my stories. I wouldn't have ended the shit on that. How depressing. Rock stars, let me get off of here. Like I said, I gotta run down to the budget office and get some shit done, and then tomorrow we will be 100% done with the budget. Thank God for small favors, okay? And I think that's it, you guys. We do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.